Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fall Convocation 2006. Would you please join with vocalist Clinton Hagel in singing of O Canada, and would you please remain standing for the invocation?
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And let us pray. God of all goodness, source of all wisdom, thank you for the gift of this day. This is a special day, a day to gather and celebrate the academic achievements of all the graduates that convocate this day. Today we are mindful of the goals we have been working towards and the great achievements we have accomplished. We give thanks for so many things. Thank you for the gift of life and the gift of freedom. We give thanks for our greatest gift, those who have supported us through our lives, our families and friends who encouraged us, believed in us, and were there for us in times of need. We give them our love and gratitude, those who join us here today and those who couldn't be here but are present in our hearts. We give thanks to our professors who have guided us, challenged us, and made a true impact on our lives. We give thanks for our university, a unique center of higher learning. We have been blessed with the opportunity to study at university and today receive our degrees. As so many in this world struggle for the basic necessities of life, give us courage to emerge as leaders in our global village, to see past our own needs to the needs of others and the common good. And thank you for the promise of the future. Be with us as we move on to new projects, new positions, and new dreams. Give us courage and strength to discern what our path will be and guide the decisions we will make in the future. Be with us in our quest for employment and in our new experiences and journeys with new jobs, new travels, and new educational opportunities. For all these we give thanks and we ask for help in our human condition to realize the potential for greatness we all have, each of us in our own unique way. God, be with us today and always. Amen.
Please be seated. I'd like to express a very warm welcome to all of our graduands and our distinguished guests this morning. My name is Lee Panic. I'm the University Secretary, and I have the honor of introducing to you the members of the colorful platform party that you see before you. So beginning in the front row at my far left and your right, Ernie Barber, Dean of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Liz Harrison, Director of the School of Physical Therapy and Associate Dean of Medicine. Grant Isaac, Dean of the College of Commerce. Brent Cotter, Dean of the College of Law. Trevor Gamble, Associate Dean, College of Graduate Studies and Research. Bob Gander, Dean of the College of Engineering. William Albritton, Dean of the College of Medicine. Heather Magato, Vice President, University Advancement. Michael Atkinson, Provost and Vice President Academic. Peter McKinnon, the President. Tom Malloy, our Chancellor. The Honourable Pat Atkinson, Minister of Advanced Education and Employment. Maynard Gertler, recipient of the Honorary Doctor of Science degree. Stephen Franklin, Vice President, Research. Randall Gillies, recipient of the Earned Doctor of Science degree. Michael McLean, University Chaplain. Maria Linklater, one of our elders. Fred Fulton, University Alumni Association President-elect. Kelly McInnes, Registrar and Director of Academic Services and Financial Assistance. And in the second row, Tom Wishart, Associate Vice President Research and Dean of the College of Graduate Studies and Research. Norman Rawlings, Associate Dean of the Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Cecilia Reynolds, Dean of the College of Education. Carol Rogers, Dean of the College of Kinesiology. Joan Sawatsky, Dean of the College of Nursing. Wendy Duggleby, recipient of the Distinguished Researcher Award. Binyam Mbe, representing Engineers Without Borders, University of Saskatchewan chapter, who are the recipients of the J.W. George Ivany Internationalization Award. Dan Pennock, recipient of the Master Teacher Award. Brad Steeves, recipient of the President's Service Award. Gwen Keith, member of our Senate. Kevin Weitenheimer, Director of the University Services and Adult Learning Development Branch. Lily Krause, member of Senate. Laurel Krause, member of Senate. Margaret Kuzik, member of Senate. Sheila Pocha, member of Senate. Judy Bazowetsky, member of the Board of Governors. Marcel Dubois, member of Senate. William Gulka, member of Senate. And Mavis Moore, member of Senate. In the third row, Dennis Gorecki, Dean of the College of Pharmacy and Nutrition. Marlene Smadou, Associate Dean of the College of Nursing. Jim Thornhill, Associate Dean of the College of Medicine. Vivian Heinel, Associate Dean of the College of Medicine. Neetha Dick, Dean of Nursing, SciAst, Kelsey Campus. Kurt Tischler, Manager of the International Students Office. Bernie Yerlink, Associate Dean, College of Medicine. Ryan Allen, President of the University of Saskatchewan Students' Union. Karen Tanino, Associate Dean of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources. Nola Burr, Associate Dean of the College of Commerce. Rick Bunt, Associate Vice President, Information and Communications Technology. David Hanna, Associate Vice President for Student and Enrollment Services. And Vicki Williamson, Dean of the University Library. And behind them, members of the faculty of the University of Saskatchewan. Would you please join me in expressing to all of these faculty, administrators, and members of our governing bodies our thanks for the work they have done by supporting, teaching, and encouraging our graduates.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Senate, I present to you Menard Gertler. I am honored to have been asked to say these words of tribute for Dr. Menard Gertler. I have valued our relationship for several years now. Dr. Gertler is a native of Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, is currently a professor of clinical medicine at Weill Medical College at Cornell University. He has enjoyed a long association with the New York University Medical Center, both as a professor of cardiovascular disease and as an attending physician. and has also held faculty positions at McGill University and Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. He entered the University of Saskatchewan's Medical Sciences program in 1936 after graduating from Bedford Road Collegiate. By his own admission, he was a pretty good student. But coming through the Depression era, he says he had to be, since he never had time to study, working at both the university, a grocer's, and what is now Early's Farm and Garden Center, as well as playing both football and hockey for the University of Saskatchewan. After receiving his MD in 1943 from McGill, followed by a master's degree in physiology, Dr. Gertler joined Dr. Paul Dudley White at Massachusetts General Hospital at Harvard Medical School. Dr. Gertler's years at Harvard were immensely fruitful. In addition to publishing his seminal work with Dr. White, Dr. Gertler also undertook an important world first as the first person in the world to do a left and right internal mammary artery procedure under the supervision of Dr. Arthur Benberg. At New York University, Dr. Gertler continued his education under Nobel Prize winner Dr. Severo Ochoa, receiving a DSc in biochemistry from New York University and the prestigious Gallatin Award for his excellence of his thesis. During his distinguished academic medical career, Dr. Gertler has lectured and promoted concepts in epidemiology and therapy in cardiac disease on an international basis, publishing over 200 papers and several books. He is best known, however, for his authorship with Dr. White of coronary heart diseases in young adults, a multidisciplinary study, which established atherosclerosis as a disease rather than an inevitable consequence of aging. This landmark publication brought into play the risk factor concept of coronary heart disease with a clue to forecasting it in each individual, and influenced the National Institutes of Heart and Lung Diseases to launch a massive program to determine the effect of reducing such risk factors as smoking, hypertension, and serum cholesterol on coronary disease. Although out of print, the importance of this work was revisited with a prestigious review by the New England Journal of Medicine in 1994, the 40th anniversary of its publication, stating that although books of historical interest are not often the subject of reviews in the journal, it is appropriate that this book by Gertler and White be recognized in this way. This year, the 40th anniversary of the publication of the book, is a proper time to recognize the debt we owe Gertler and White, who did so much to open the way for modern cardiovascular medicine. Dr. Gertler has supported medical education through service his entire life. He served for nearly 2 decades as the president of Friends of McGill and also as president of the Julia and Seymour Gross Foundation, whose purpose is to support higher education. His generous contribution made possible the construction of the McGill Adult Unit for Congenital Heart Disease, better known as the MAUD Unit. In 2005, at the University of Saskatchewan, Dr. Gertler established the Clara and Frank Gertler Lectureship in Medicine in honor of his parents to support an annual lecture to promote strategic directions of the college. This fall, Dr. Gertler followed up with the establishment of the College of Law Gertler Lecture Series in honor of Bob and Peggy McKercher, a family that was important to him in his youth. In 1999, Dr. Gertler was honored with an honorary degree, a Doctor of Science degree from McGill University. It is truly fitting that here today we are able to confer the same honor from the University of Saskatchewan. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Menard Gertler and ask that you confer on him the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of the province, with the consent of the Senate of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa and invest you all the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Class of 2006. Dean Albritton for introducing me. I must say I had my eyes closed during part of your speech, and I really thought my mother was speaking. Chancellor Malloy, President McKinnon, I don't know who else is down there, but all of you on the front row. I am very happy to be here today. It's a great honor for me to be here, and it will, I think, show when I speak to all of you. I have a little frog in my throat at the moment for all this introduction and so forth, but I think it'll leap out of the waters. Before I begin to introduce my brothers and their wives, just by name only for the time being, I would like to thank all of you, and most importantly, I'd like to dedicate this speech and my degree to my wife, Anna, whose lifelong support and love made this possible. She's very ill at the moment, but I think she's going to make it, and that's my wish for the years coming. May I just introduce my brothers. My youngest brother, to start with, is David Gertler. I think he's there someplace. My brother Abe and his wife Naomi. And last but not least, Coleman and his wife Jane. I would like to just tell you a little bit about Coleman's sons. I think this is a very important part of my life. Mark, his oldest son, stepped down from the head of economics at the Department of New York University this year, but remained as professor, became the chief editor of the prestigious journal on economics. He's also a governor of the Federal Bank in New York City, a branch of the one in Washington, and he has reserve position and the one in New York as well. Coleman's son Paul, is at Stanford University now, after a year's sabbatical with the World Health Organization in Europe, and he returned as a full professor, named professor at Stanford in economics. His youngest son, whom I know very well, we tried to lure him to our place, but he wouldn't come. He stayed at MIT as a named professor of biochemistry. They're a group of very distinguished young people. It is my pleasure to stand before you today. I am deeply honored and appreciative of the degree bestowed on me. I'm even more honored to have a chance to speak to this vibrant group and class of graduates. My insights have no more value than yours, but I am moved by the chance to share my perspectives that have been molded by time and tempered by my experience since I was graduated from here so many years ago. In 1938, the University of Saskatchewan was the catalyst for many professional advances of many students, and yet was a very different university than it is today, thanks to all the governors and people who supported the university, very dedicated individuals. The medical school at that time was a 2-year school, didn't even have its proper borders. It was in a greenhouse where they had flowers and plants, but they did their anatomy classes in there, and I hope they have it as a memory to what the new school is now today. Vastly different. The students in Saskatchewan in my era were primarily oriented to engineering, agriculture, the basic sciences of actually activities of daily living almost. There was law school, and not the law school we have today. There's a 2-year medical school, certainly not very close to the one they have today. And all the physics I remember very well, and all the other things. Today, if you walk into some of the great stores in New York, you find products nurtured and grown by the University of Saskatchewan. and it's fun for me to go in there and say that came from Saskatchewan, this came from Saskatchewan, so forth. The influence of Saskatchewan, University of Saskatchewan is growing and will continue to grow. And the students from here have been taken into great industries in New York City and the United States. For instance, you have a very important person in New York who's a member of this prestigious firm, Goldman Sachs. You also have one in where is it? In California, in I forget the name of it, but it'll come to me. I have other things in my mind than that today. And then we also have people who are in high places in the government. So there are people all over the world who studied and graduated from the University of Saskatchewan, and you have a marked symbol wherever we go, and I'm proud to be part of it. We also have a prize winner who's had professor of physics here many years ago. Now, how different is the university today? The university has grown logarithmically, not additively, but logarithmically. Under the stewardess and stewards of many of the great presidents we have, including the one today, President McKinnon. How different the university has grown. The university is brimming with technology and the attendant progress, the Synchron Innovation Park, and the myriad of laboratories dedicated to a myriad of disciplines still wrapped up in the education, strongly rooted and in the liberal arts and science, law, and social sciences. It is a school of advanced thinking and a magnet for students of great geographic and ethnic diversity and equally great ambition in numerous fields. The process of many commercial patents is evidence to this. All this technology advances lead me to the perspective I want to impart, namely the perspective informed by many extraordinary events I've witnessed in my lifetime. To keep it simple, I will distill my remarks to three critical areas in scientific advances and attempt to draw brief lessons from each. Although the choice is not easy, let me cite nuclear physics, excellence in surgical care, and pharmacological revolution. In these three areas, they have covered all our lives. In 1956, I was part of a team at Oak Ridge Laboratory in Tennessee, studying to define the methods by which nuclear isotopes could prove useful in medicine. This approach has spawned extraordinary diagnostic and therapeutic advances, influencing everybody from the assessment and prognostication of cardiac disease and to the potential for the antibody-tagged radioisotopes for the treatment of widely metastatic disease and cancer. Certainly, the field has become a boon to patients and their families. And yet, this nuclear revolution has its obvious dark side. At times, the threat of obliteration of the species, either through inadequate controls, as we saw in Chernobyl, or the obvious misappropriations of technology to hold the world hostage to threats and nationalistic agendas. I quote Burns for the moment, "Man's inhumanity to man," wisely said by Robert Burns many years ago. One of my favorite poems and poets. I don't need to say any more except that the ability of our technology to outstrip the morality gives me the greatest pause as I look at the world today. And I look out to all of you and stress that our ability to technically advance moves at a pace far in excess of mankind's ability to keep social governance and morality in line. It is your tolerant minds and dedicated social consciousness that can steer us towards open waters of progress and away from the rocky shores fractionalism and seeing all too close in these times. Let us look at the great clinical advances. Surgery has been held up to a dramatic example of medicine progress at its best, and certainly our abilities in cardiac surgery, neurosurgery, minimally invasive therapies are impressive. Yet it is actually the multidisciplinary approach to the patient that has driven the massive increase in safety and good outcomes. Thus, the best surgeon cannot create the best outcome without certain as abundant of collaborations. You walk into a surgical room today where it used to be one surgeon and one nurse and something on it. That was it. Today you have about 15 people and they're all helping to bring this patient through. So it's not only a one-way game now, it's a multiple way and multiple choices. Thus, the best surgeon cannot create best outcomes without certain and abundant collaborators, skilled anesthetists, armed with pharmaceutical drugs developed by skilled scientists, intensivists dedicated to the understanding of the cascades of inflammation, mediating molecules, multiple organ responses to surgical trauma, and engineers striving to develop instrumentation for therapy and monitoring all have been critical, as have many other disciplines which I have not mentioned at this time. So take this lesson. Share your knowledge and expertise embedded in those around you, and always move humbly among your peers so that together you can effect the changes you seek and the accelerated improvement of the recipients of your technology. Technology doesn't serve people. It is useless and misdirected. Lastly, a look at the molecular biology in the last 50 years. We have gone from a rudimentary understanding of the gone and revolutionary means of predicting outcomes responses to sophisticated therapeutics, identification of risk, and many more individual insights to our formulation of the human being. These abilities will drive personalized medicine, which should again drive better quality of life and better utilization of our precious resources. And yet, this too can be used against society. Proprietary personal information about individuals can be misused by governments, insurance companies, universities, and companies, and anyone else who chooses. The potential for abuse of information by bureaucrat structure is one I've seen to be very nefarious in the mechanized mass killings and eugenic program of many societies. You don't have to go too far. You can look at Darfur in Africa. This abuse is a long-standing human condition that sadly is catalyzed often by the advanced information gathering and its dissemination. By now you see where I'm going. With this mixture of enthusiasm and concern, you, the graduates, are the catalysts of the great advances and are the protectors against the misuse of those great advances. It is critical for all of you to maintain the highest ethical standards as you grow into the leadership of the academic world, commercial inventiveness, and the next generation. You have a giant opportunity to marry your newly honed skills and your native intelligence for social good. Let me stop here with one additional point. I want to publicly thank the extraordinary faculty of the University of Saskatchewan, the administration and support staff of the great university of which I am so proud to be a graduate, as well as the province of Saskatchewan for its vision and support of this great university. And for support its growth, the faculty has imparted to you the motivation and the abilities to do great things. As you go forth with their teaching and their ethics behind you, you have every bit of faith that you will too bring the diligence and the excellence to the next generation. Thank you for this chance to be part of all of this. for the chance to be here, for the honor given to me, and most of all, thank you for continuing to carry forward the dreams, visions, and ethics of all that I hold dear. Thank you.
Eminent Chancellor, Dr. Randy Gillies was born and raised on a farm in the Silent Call district of northern Saskatchewan. He received his early education in a one-room country school before completing high school in the village of Debden. He came to the University of Saskatchewan, where he received his Bachelor of Engineering degree in 1973 and a Master of Science in 1975. He joined the Saskatchewan Research Council in 1975 and became the manager of the Pipe Flow Technology Center in 1980. He then returned to the University of Saskatchewan as a part-time graduate student, and while working and maintaining a full workload at the SRC, he received his PhD in 1993. The pipeline flow of coarse particle slurries was the subject of his doctoral thesis. Over the years, Dr. Gillies' research has continued to focus on the transport of mixtures in pipelines. He has maintained very close ties with faculty members in the University of Saskatchewan's Department of Chemical Engineering, including a long and productive collaboration with the late Dr. Clifton Shook and an ongoing collaboration with Dr. Robert Sumner. The Canadian oil and oil sand industry has been the major supporter of the work carried out by Dr. Gillies and his fellow researchers. This work has also been used in the design and operation of pipeline transport systems for other Canadian industries, including those that produce metallurgical minerals, potash, uranium, and heavy crude oil. The work by Dr. Gillies and his team has received international recognition and found application in several countries, including Australia, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and the U.S. Dr. Gillies' wife, Patricia, is a lab coordinator in the Department of Chemistry at our university. Randy and Pat have two sons, Rob and Dan, and currently are both students at the University of Saskatchewan. Dr. Gillies is a professional engineer in the province of Saskatchewan and a member of the Chemical Institute of Canada. His previous honors have included a Distinguished Engineer Appointment by the Saskatchewan Research Council and an Alberta Science and Technology Award for work that he and his team carried out in developing slurry pipelining technologies for the oil sand industry. Dr. Randy Gillies has provided insight, dedication, and participation in a wide range of research projects for both industry and academia. And the work done by Dr. Gillies at the Saskatchewan Research Council has brought international recognition to the province and to the University of Saskatchewan. Eminent Chancellor, I present to you Dr. Randall Gillies and ask that you will confer on him the degree of the Earned Doctor of Science.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, with the consent of the Council of this university, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Science and invest you with all of the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Eminent Chancellor, Minister Atkinson, Elder Linklater, Dr. Gertler, dear graduates, guests, and friends, welcome to Fall Convocation 2006. This is the University of Saskatchewan's most important celebration. For it is here that we come together and recognize in a very public way the achievements of our graduates and the contributions to their success of their families and friends. This day also marks the admission of our students to the University of Saskatchewan family of graduates worldwide, 130,000 of them. I can say to you that their record of achievement is a magnificent one, and I am confident that you will uphold and enhance that record in the years to come. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to the families of the graduates that are assembled today. We are delighted to have you with us. You have shared the joys and the hardships of your graduate in his or her journey leading to the success that we mark today. We share your pride, and we thank you very much for being here. It is perhaps a feature of aging that we become more conscious of the prominence of memory in our lives. Among my vivid and cherished memories are those of visits as a small child to my grandparents in Montreal and frequent walks with my grandfather from his apartment on University Street to the McGill Faculty of Medicine, where he served as professor of anatomy. These walks took us across the McGill campus with commentaries by my grandfather on the significance of buildings and other landmarks and the colorful university personalities associated with them. It is in part to these memories that I attribute a core value of my life. I love universities. I love the big ones and the small ones, the public and the private universities, the local and the distant, the old ones and the new ones. Like all human institutions, they have their peculiarities, vulnerabilities, and weaknesses. But their greatest strength lies in the fact that it is the merit of an idea that demands respect in a university, not a voice of command, a pronouncement on morality, or a threat of punishment. In a world that witnesses too many commands, pronouncements, and threats, institutions that value ideas, debate, and reasoned conclusions are beacons that give us confidence that we as human beings have a future and that it can be a bright one. That is why today should mean as much to you as my memories of my walks with my grandfather a half-century ago. You are the product of many influences in your lives, and today there is one more. You now come from an institution and a tradition that values ideas, debate, and discovery as an alternative to commands, pronouncements, and threats. That influence will shape your lives going forward, and I hope that you will cherish it as you face the uncertainties of the human experience. Graduates of the University of Saskatchewan, you can be confident of the preparation you have received here. Your success today is celebrated by all of us, families, friends, members of the university community, and of course yourselves. It is deserved success, and so it is justly marked and celebrated. But do remember, it is preparation for what is to come more than it is a conclusion for what has been. The purpose of education is the refinement of the mind for your own benefit, to be sure, but also for the benefit of society. We need creative thinkers. We need people who are comfortable with decisions in a wide context. We need people who can communicate, reason, create, write, and speak. And we need people who can speak across the boundaries that sometimes divide us. In short, we need leaders. I hope you will not mind if I express the hope that many of you will find it in your hearts and minds to continue to build your lives in Saskatchewan. I know that your futures will take you where they must. I know, too, that nowhere are you needed more than you are in this beautiful province of ours. His Honour the Lieutenant Governor has referred to words of the first Premier of Saskatchewan to the effect that Saskatchewan is a big place that needs people with big dreams. This is true today, as it was when Premier Walter Scott made the observation 100 years ago. I I hope yours are big dreams and noble dreams, and I hope they come true. Congratulations on the great success that today represents, and very best wishes for the future.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, members of the University Senate, I present to you the petition of the Council of this university that the candidates to be named, having fulfilled all the requirements of the statutes, may, with your permission, be admitted to the degrees and certificates to which they are entitled.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the legislature of this province, and with the consent of the Council of this university, I consent to admit you to the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled, and to invest you with all of the powers, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto.
Would the graduands in the front row please rise and come to the platform?
Okay. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Agriculture and Bioresources, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. I present to you Ian David Gabber. Shengbo Zhang with distinction. Sean Laverne Lyons. Shannon Colleen Poppy. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating all these recipients of the degree Bachelor of Science in Agriculture. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Agriculture and Bioresources and the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree Master of Science. I present to you Kelly Ann Davey. Jane Victoria Fiala. Shannon Avery Gerard. Travis Lee Hoffman. Mark Evan Kuchurin. Jeanette Simone Levi, sorry. Darcy Robert Pollock. Ladies and gentlemen, join me then in congratulating all of these recipients of the degree Master of Science in the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Commerce, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree Bachelor of Commerce. I present to you Quinton Edwin Clorick. Adrian Stewart Fisher. Vincent Kenneth Gervais. Carla Ray Gradine, with great distinction. Rochelle Lynn Holman. Chad Ashley Jackson. Soon Hee Kang. Michael Sean Klein, with distinction. Melissa Page Lieb. Michael John Lobsinger. Michael John Edward Naylor. Shanna Marie Pilon, with distinction. Kimberly Dawn Puckett. Anthony George Sabados. Curtis John Shirley. Sabrina Nadine Schular. Lin Sun, with distinction. Tuni Trong, distinction. Aaron Sven Wignes. Alicia Dawn Yount. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculties of the College of Commerce and the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Business Administration. I present to you Carla Ray Dobchuk. Elaine Christina Dupuy. Paul Christopher Hildebrand. Octavia Lane Inkster. Aloysius John James. Kenneth Vern Kutch. Chad Curtis Linz. Sinead Bernadette McGartling. Marcia Diane Richardson. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Business Administration. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree Master of Professional Accounting, I present to you Jacqueline Louise Andall. Bradley Philip Blazetti. Jeffrey Allen Barassa. Stacy Jennifer Helena Boychuk. Raminder Kao Brar. Alexander Bruce Corbett. Ingrid Jane Demenshko. Shannon Brianne Dick. Christopher Lee Eckert. Phoebe Jane Elliott. Rochelle Leanne Fauscher. Cassandra Lee Friesen. Amanda Jean Haney. Nicole Heinzer. Curtis James Hepner. Robert Marcus Leonard Johnson. Craig Nathan Calnan. Tyler Ronald Karpinski. Jennifer Leong. Chad Joseph Linger. Claudia Marie McMahon. Stacy Nicole Meakin. Patrick Gordon Moore. Susan Huang Nguyen. Robert Jacob Ullman. William Thomas Outred. Jeffrey George Persick. Jocelyn Ray Renicky. Hugh Tyler Rice. Valerie Gale Roberts. Jeffrey Leslie Scott. Sarah Elaine Scott. Jamie Allison Shearer. Karen Elizabeth Spiker. Michelle Sweeling Tan. Kelly Dean Thompson. Michelle Denise Tong. Eugene Paul Bath. Amanda Lee Bella. Amanda Lee Viltar. Philip Spencer Wyant. Melanie Janine Yano. Janelle Sarah Marie Zutz. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree Master of Professional Accounting. Eminent Chancellor, for the degree Master of Science, I present to you Marvin John Soderberg. Please join me in congratulating the recipient of the degree Master of Science.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Education. I present to you Florence Oba Bear. Crystal Marie Boschman, with distinction. Alana Marie Dodwell, with distinction. Curtis Robert Hundaby. Wendy Lynn Kathleen McLeod. Andrea Gail Michael, with distinction. Lorna Jean Roblin, with distinction. Jodine Nicole Marie Seibert, with great distinction. Heather Lorraine Sutherland. Jeremy J. Verity. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you this scholar and ask that you will confer on her the degree of Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Music in Music Education. I present to you Allie Marie Peters, with distinction. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Education, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the post-degree certificate in special education. I present to you Kavia Catherine Burns. Tracy Lee Forsyth. Darcy Jean Moore. Lisette Lucille Prefontaine. Michelle Marie Purdy. Families and friends, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degrees of Bachelor of Education and the combined degrees of Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Music in Music Education and the post-degree certificate in special education from the College of Education. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Education. I present to you Maria Hope Ahenecu. Nicole Marie Amiot. Tekulu Marie Cornelia Anderson. Angela Marie Caron. Billy Joe Heather Carter. Shelda Joy Hanlon Stroh. Kelly Leanne Huck. Giselle Jeanette Marie-Jean Bungard. Dominic Woja Maku. Edward Hilliard Kevin Morasti. Trudy Lynn Morin. Arnold Robert Neufeld. Julius Hermas Park. Curtis Edward Peck. Ian Grant Rucastle. Jacqueline Dawn Reines. Corey Wilson Rideout. Lisa Dawn Robinson. Michael Rohatinsky. Sarah Joyce Stone. Brandon Raymond Stroh. Kimberly Jewel Walters. Families and friends, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Education from the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering. I present to you Rima Shin Hang Yi. Andrew Jacob May. Dustin Anthony Orose. Rianto Seno Bascoro. Jared Michael Epp. Tyler William Heichert. Please join with me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Engineering. I present to you Arvind Balasubramanian. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Patrick Dare Alabi. Sheng Li Cheng. Ebenezer Corsa Enenful. Dong Mei Feng. Vinay Kumar Nagarkar. Eli Fortunato Payuela. Bruno Antonio Consuegra Xiaotong. Michael Barry Stoichescu. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Engineering and Master of Science in the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Kinesiology, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science, Kinesiology. J. Bridges. Trent Laziak. Julianne Jeanette Rook. Kristen Wyman. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of the Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Patricia Marie Logan Krogstad. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating this recipient of the degree of Master of Science in the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Law, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer upon them the degree of Bachelor of Laws. I present to you Diane Kendra Kasokyo. Calvin Dale Ursaki. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree Bachelor of Laws.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Mark Anthony Farrell, Ashley Anidik, Madeline Joy Johnson, Eric Donnell McNair, Ignace Adolfo Moya, Catherine Rochelle Thompson, Jamie Michelle Van Kleinput, Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating these recipients on the degree of Masters of Science from the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Nursing, I present to you these scholars and ask that you will confer on them the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Dorothy Lynn Bateman, great distinction. Celeste Rita Begrand. Jane Tasha Bernier. Colleen Denise Brooks, great distinction. Christopher John Cave. Patricia Ann Christie. Sherry Lynn Clark. Victoria Keurig, distinction. Charmaine Daniel DeKay. Valerie Kim Dean. Natalie Marie Erickson. Tanya Marie Ernst. Jacqueline Amanda Giggs, great distinction. Kimberly Holly Gutka. Jennifer Dawn Guzak. Nicole Clara Haggerty, distinction. Carly Dawn Herberholtz, distinction. Jeanette Olive Hewson. Erica Michelle Hopkin. Daphne Lynn Horner, distinction. Amanda Jane Hughes. Marcy Marlena Jalbert. Donna Lee Lynn Wantap, distinction. Jody Dawn Kerr. Sarah Kathy Ann Kostyuk, distinction. Janice Kroll. Trina Nicole Kruzelicki. Julia Lee. Jennifer Louise Limaker, distinction. Angela Crystal Lockhart. Christine Jean Lockhart. Tammy Melissa Matza, distinction. Matthew Curtis McElmoy. Blair Murray Mitchell. Kachina Yolanta Moyer. Robin Leslie Newens, great distinction. Danielle Obama. Shauna Lynn Marie Pastor, distinction. Gwen Marie Poole, distinction. Camille Catherine Nadia Rabuka, distinction. Chantal Tara Radborn. Jamie Dawn Rapko. Kathleen Amanda Rose. Justin Glenn Roof. Alice Rosalie Salter. Curtis Leonard Schmidt. Candace Michelle Smalden. Lori Michelle Stetner. Krista Michelle Temple. Tracy Shannon Thompson, distinction. Quinn Tion. Christy Ray Tornberg. Michaeline Dawn Ulmer, distinction. Glennis Marie Uselman. Melanie Ann Woods. Andrea Ray Neumeyer Zimmer. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nursing from the College of Nursing. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Nursing. I present to you Carmen Lisa Gale Anderson. Jill Melanie Gajard Singh Bali. Susan Lauren Bollinger. Judith Elaine Hill. Shauna Lynn Hausman. Signe Lenore Bjornson Klebeck. Kristen Marissa Nibbs. Deborah Ann Lenzik Storstad. Catherine Ann Miller. Kelly Leanne Pence. Patty Diane Seminar. Marlene Joanne Stranger. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Master of Nursing in the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Physical Therapy, I present to you this scholar and ask that you confer on her the Bachelor of Science in Physical Therapy. I present to you Christina Bartake with distinction. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the School of Physical Therapy and the College of Medicine, please congratulate this scholar.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Science. I present to you Madhu Babu Ravi. Sarah Jane Stoughton. Jill Andrea Van Kessel. Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Master of Veterinary Science. Connie Kathleen Stevenson. Bruce Kendall Woguser. Please join me in congratulating the recipients of the degrees of Master of Science and Master of Veterinary Science in Veterinary Medicine and College of Graduate Studies and Research.
Eminent Chancellor, on behalf of the College of Graduate Studies and Research, I present to you these scholars and ask that you confer on them the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. I present to you Sandro Gianni Aquilas Perez. Ildiko Padilla. Tim Chan. Fawzi El Babri. Derek Brian Haley. Richard Wilfred Hebert.
Yadata Mbesa Kabeta. Robert Bruce McCorkle. Landon Keith Patashok. Carrie Jane Rickwood. Thusith Semini Samarakun. Nirmala Sharma. Ali Taharian. Hassan Batanparast. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulating the recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in the College of Graduate Studies and Research.
At the request of the faculties, I authorize these degrees and certificates be granted.
It is my pleasure to announce the Goodspeed Award winner for Fall Convocation 2006, College of Commerce, as Carla Ray Gradine. Miss Gradine is clearly a very hard worker, dedicated to the success of those around her. Carla grew up on her family farm near Hendon, Saskatchewan. Following graduation from high school, Carla earned an education degree with distinction and has been teaching high school mathematics with Saskatoon Public Schools since 1998. Carla decided to return to university to achieve her second degree in commerce, majoring in finance. She continued to teach part-time while attending university full-time, taking 6 classes each semester to complete her commerce degree in 2 years. Outside of school life, Carla's hobbies include an enthusiasm for pictures, and she recently started a photography business. Carla continues to teach high school full-time at Walter Murray Collegiate, and I'm very pleased to say Carla has been accepted into the Masters of Science in Finance program at the U of S and plans to move into a career in the finance field in the near future. Carla has asked that we recognize her parents for their emotional support, along with Assistant Dean Rennie and the professors and the office staff of the College of Commerce for their expertise and guidance. Please join me in congratulating the 2006 Fall Convocation recipient of the Goodspeed Award, Carla Ray Gradine.
The fall winner of the Most Distinguished Graduate in Education and the Saskatchewan Teachers Federation Prize is Jodine Siebert. Jodine grew up in a small town, Cranberry Portage in northern Manitoba. After high school, she attended Bethany College in Hepburn, Saskatchewan. She then spent the next few years living in Saskatoon and working in a variety of fields. Because of her diverse interests and work experiences, Jodine struggled to find one single path to pursue. It was her work as a teaching assistant in the Saskatoon school system, however, that sparked her interest in the teaching profession. She chose home economics and art for her teaching areas, partly because she knows that children enjoy these creative, hands-on subject areas, and she'd like to share her enthusiasm and skills. Jodine also loves the outdoors and hopes that her experience in camping, canoeing, and wilderness skills will be shared in the extracurricular aspects of school life. Jodine has been married for 6 years, has one son, a very busy 1.5-year-old, and she and her husband Kimball are expecting their second child any day now. She will be putting her teacher career on hold for a few years while she stays at home to be a full-time caretaker to her children. She and her husband now live in Borden, Saskatchewan. Completing her Bachelor of Education has been a major accomplishment for her and her family. In the future, her goal is to teach in a rural Saskatchewan school in the subject areas of home economics and art. Please join me in congratulating Jodine Siebert on her exceptional achievement in the College of Education. Congratulations.
Eminent Chancellor, I am pleased to present the most distinguished graduate of the College of Nursing, University of Saskatchewan, Dorothy Bateman. Ms. Bateman graduated from Tom Collegiate in Regina in 1981, followed by employment at SGI, then a home daycare, which she operated for a number of years. Prior to entering the nursing education program of Saskatchewan in 2003, she completed 1 year of arts and science at the University of Regina. She has now successfully completed her BSN. Ms. Bateman has been kept busy throughout her education program with 3 active children and life on a farm with her husband. Ms. Bateman has consistently shown high academic achievement and excellent clinical nursing skills during her studies in the NEPS program. In the clinical area, faculty praised her comprehensive grasp of many of the issues facing her clients and commented on her ability to make insightful, critical evaluation of her clients and her practice. Faculty have also commented on her excellent ability to analyze, synthesize, and integrate ideas fluently. During her time in the NEPS program, Ms. Bateman has received a SciAST Achievement Scholarship and a University of Saskatchewan Scholarship. She was a member of the Working Group on Magnetic Environments, a subcommittee of the Saskatchewan Provincial Nursing Council, and has been involved in informal mentoring with other students. Ms. Bateman will be beginning a 1-year, temporary, full-time position in acute care with the Regina-Qu'Appelle Health Region in November. Dorothy graduates today with great distinction and is a worthy recipient of the most distinguished nursing graduate at the 2006 Fall Convocation. We are proud to have her as part of the nursing profession. Congratulations, Ms. Bateman.
I would like now to introduce you to the members of the university's faculty, staff, and students who've made outstanding contributions to our university and our community. I would ask them to come forward now to receive their awards. The Distinguished Researcher Award. Dr. Wendy Duggleby, a faculty member in the College of Nursing, is this fall's recipient of the Distinguished Researcher Award. This award recognizes a University of Saskatchewan faculty member who has made a major contribution to knowledge through research and publications. Lauded by her colleagues as a driven and passionate worker, Wendy Duggleby has compiled a lengthy record of scholarly achievement in the area of end-of-life issues and care for seniors. In the College of Nursing, she is currently exploring the relationship between the patient, the family caregiver, and the formal caregivers, doctors, and nurses. Professor Duggleby received much recognition for her part in producing the video Living with Hope, as well as numerous papers, posters, and book chapters. Her research direction comes from situations encountered while working in a nurse in a hospice and cancer center settings. It is her hope that her research will make a difference for patients and families at the end of life. Dr. Duggleby's achievements contribute greatly to the reputation of our university and to the success of our students. Please join me in congratulating Wendy Duggleby. The J.W. George Ivany Internationalization Award. The University of Saskatchewan Chapter of Engineers Without Borders is this fall's recipient of the J.W. George Ivany Internationalization Award. This award recognizes outstanding contributions by the university students, academic or administrative staff that enhances the internationalization at and for the University of Saskatchewan. The U of S Chapter of Engineers Without Borders is represented today by U of S student Binyam MB. Built on the premise that global poverty can be overcome by offering new opportunities to impoverished communities, the chapter has worked to build understanding and cooperation. During dozens of the 170 members engaged in specific activities highlighting international development to high school students, engaging the local corporate community through annual events, and raising more than $100,000 to support their activities. In 2004, this chapter was recognized as the Chapter of the Year in Canada. A primary project has been supported by the creation of information and communication technology centers in the Philippines as part of the university-supported SCALA project, which offers computer literacy and life skill training to at-risk youth. Recently, during the United Nations World Summit on Information, this project was recognized internationally for helping to address poverty in the Philippines. Would you please join with me in congratulating the University of Saskatchewan Chapter of Engineers Without Borders. Master Teacher Award. Dr. Dan Pennick, a faculty member in the Department of Soil Sciences, College of Agricultural and Bioresources, is this fall's recipient of the Master Teacher Award. This award was established to recognize teaching excellence and outstanding contributions to the learning environment of this university. Professor Pennick has a well-established reputation for teaching excellence and is recognized as an expert in his field. His dedication to teaching is infectious and impossible to ignore. Dr. Pennock works diligently at his craft, searching for methods and instructive resource materials to bring to the classrooms. Described as having a natural talent for communications, he also injects humor to ensure that his students are smiling as they learn. The Agricultural Students Association recognized him as the Professor of the Year in 1996 and 2005, showing their appreciation of his commitment to excellence in teaching. In 2005, Dr. Pennock was also recognized with a Teaching Award of Merit from the North American Colleges and Teachers of Agriculture. Dr. Pennock is a teacher scholar directing a productive research program and an outstanding contribution to graduate instructions. Recognized as an outstanding mentor for new graduate students, research colleagues, and new professors. Dr. Pennock is truly deserving of this year's Master Teacher Award. Please join me in congratulating him. The President's Service Award. Mr. Brad Steves is this fall's recipient of the President's Service Award. The President's Service Award recognizes individuals who have enhanced the work environment through extraordinary service and commitment to the campus community. There are three words that appear over and over in all descriptions of Brad Stevens. He is considered by one and all to be the go-to guy. In his 29 years with the University of Saskatchewan and the College of Medicine, Brad Steves has focused mainly on instructing students and research administration. In 2000, he assumed responsibility for the Laboratory Animal Service Unit, which looks after the care needs of researchers using small animals in the College of Medicine, Arts and Science, and the Saskatoon Cancer Centre. His work earned him praise for maintaining the highest standards for the health and welfare of the animals from his superiors and colleagues and from the Canadian Council on Animal Care. In addition to his duties with the College of Medicine, Brad's university service includes a term as president of ASPA, the Administrative and Supervisory Personnel Association, and work on ASPA Job Evaluation Project Team. Well known for his attention to detail, his problem-solving skills, and his dedication to the task at hand, one department head said hiring him was probably the smartest thing that he ever did. Please join me in congratulating Brad.
Eminent Chancellor, Mr. President, platform participants, honored guests, graduates, and guests. What a wonderful morning. As President-elect of the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association, and on behalf of our President, Jeffrey Vick, who can't be here this morning, and the rest of the board, it is my pleasure to recognize the fall class of 2006 as graduates and welcome each of you as new members in the Alumni Association of the University of Saskatchewan. Congratulations. I feel particularly honored to be addressing you here today because this year the Alumni Association celebrates its 90th anniversary alongside the university's centennial year next year in 2007. Indeed, it is an exciting time to be part of the University of Saskatchewan and its Alumni Association, a time to reflect upon and celebrate our distinguished history while looking ahead to the challenges and the opportunities that lie ahead in the new century. So, as you walked across the platform here today and received your degrees, remember that graduation does not signal the end of your relationship with the university, but rather the beginning of your new and lifelong role as a member of the larger university community of alumni. You now have the responsibility to ensure that a degree from the University of Saskatchewan will always be a source of great pride, a sign of integrity, and a hallmark of excellence. You join a group of distinguished people, some publicly recognized, some successful in more private ways, but all of whom understand and value their University of Saskatchewan education. Preserve the value of your degree. Preserving the value of your degree depends, in part, on your continued involvement with this excellent institution. Your Alumni Association provides an important link between you and this university. This link can help you build your career and help you maintain lifelong relationships and friendship with all the people you've met during your time as a student. I urge you to connect with the U of S alumni whenever possible and build strong alliances and partnerships in your community and around the world. The U of S Alumni Association applauds and sincerely appreciates your hard work and outstanding contributions to date. Indeed, your success is our success. I urge you to keep us informed of your future accomplishments so that we can celebrate them together. Again, congratulations and welcome to the University of Saskatchewan Alumni Association. We wish you all the very best.
This brings our convocation ceremony to a close. But before we do, I would like to thank a number of people. Firstly, Glenn Gillis and the University Wind Orchestra. They're celebrating their 45th anniversary this year. Our vocalist, Quentin Hagel. Our signer for today's ceremony, Ann Websdale. Elder Marie Linklater. Lynette Mirza, Convocation Coordinator, and all the members of her team who have made these ceremonies a success. I would also like to remind the graduates and their families of the reception which follows this ceremony. And I'll just remind you that Agriculture and Commerce are to meet on the west side of the main lobby. Education, the center of the main lobby. Engineering, Kinesiology, and Law, the east side of the main lobby. And Nursing, Pharmacy and Nutrition, Physical Therapy, and Veterinary Medicine, the second floor lobby. I'm sure there'll be signs. Finally, to today's graduates, as you came across the stage this morning, I admitted you to the convocation of our university. And I would like to add my own personal congratulations on your academic achievements and to extend to you my best wishes for future success. Today you became members of a proud and strong organization that boasts a membership of well over 100,000 people, which includes leaders in every walk of life, quite literally around the world. I'm talking about the alumni of the University of Saskatchewan. Today, you join those alumni. The University of Saskatchewan has been good to you. It's provided you with the opportunity to receive a post-secondary education. It's given you a head start in life. Take the University of Saskatchewan with you. Keep it as you encounter life's opportunities. Remember it for what it has given you. I encourage you to participate in alumni events and functions. Continue to be part of university life through the Alumni Association. Would you please now all rise and join in the singing of God Save the Queen.
God save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God